When it comes to HIPAA, dental practices are definitely not under the radar. I'd like to share with you 3 different stories to illustrate that comment. First is regarding a former Indiana dentist. And this story goes back to March of 2013. The doctor had patient records to dispose of that he had seen during the time frame from 2002 to 2007. 63 boxes in patient records in all. Well, he hired a professional company called Just the Connection to dispose of the records. That company promptly took those records and put them in a dumpster in a church parking lot. That definitely is not HIPAA compliant. As a result, the dentist was fined $12,000 by the state attorney general. Even though the Office of Civil Rights is the primary HIPAA police, if you will, all the state attorneys generals have been also deputized to prosecute on behalf of the citizens in their state. So ergo, that's why that fine was a little bit lower than what you typically see for HIPAA fines. The next story is regarding an Arkansas oral surgery group. In July of 17, they somehow got ransomware, and all of their data was locked down for a particular 3-week period of time. They were unable to access their x-rays and patient records. So as a result, they needed to notify all those patients that their data had possibly been compromised. That story illustrates the point that no matter how tight you think your security system is and your IT vendor, it's important that you keep reviewing and updating your security processes on a regular basis. And that's why conducting a thorough and credible security risk analysis on an annual basis is very important. The third is actually a current case. It's a story of a Florida practice and their electronic records vendor. The practice had terminated their relationship with the vendor, and now the vendor is not going to be returning the records to the client. Not only does this violate the end user license agreement, but it's also a violation of HIPAA, because the laws are very specific that even if the dental practice owed that vendor money, they were not allowed to withhold the records. So no doubt this is going to blossom into some type of very interesting case and probably some possible unknowns that we don't know yet. But let's bear in mind the silent victim here is the patient. Those patients do not know or have access to where their data is, so if they change practices or move, they aren't able to get a copy of their x-rays or their dental chart. So when it comes to HIPAA, dental practices are not under the radar, and it's very important that you understand the law, know your obligations to comply, and know your obligations of when it's time to report.